We are, I believe, almost 50 subscribers away from reaching our goal of 20,000 subscribers. By the way, once we reach that goal, we will be doing a live stream Q&A, taking all of your questions. It could be about the Knicks. It could be about anything. But we're so close to that goal. If you want to help us reach that goal, it's very simple. All you have to do, especially if you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, is just hit that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. Before the game even started, it was being built as the best offensive team in the Knicks versus the best defensive team in the Orlando Magic. This was a game that you could not sleep on. You had to get up for this game because Orlando is legit. Even without their best player in Paolo Banchero, they are 12-1 in their last games. That's how good they've been. They've not been winning because of their offense. It's because of their defense. They beat teams into submission, and they also attack aggressively. But what did the Knicks do tonight? How did they beat the Magic? They moved the ball, they moved themselves, and they also played selflessly. They made sure everybody was touching the ball. They were playing free-flowing offense, no isolation offense. Everybody was touching the ball, and everybody was aggressive. But we beat the Orlando Magic, a dominant team in the Eastern Conference, and we did it based on our offense, but also our defense as well, too. We locked them down. We prevented them from shooting inside the paint a lot, and we made them shoot three-pointers. In terms of shooting that three-point shot, they're one of the worst teams in the league. We let them do that, and they shot themselves out of the game. We're going to break down exactly what the Knicks did, how they beat the Orlando Magic down, how they destroyed them, and what they did so well as a team. All of this and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks advance in the NBA Cup. They destroy the best defensive team in the NBA. Let me repeat that for you one time in case you didn't hear it. The best offensive team in the league faced the best defensive team in the league in the Orlando Magic. This game was supposed to be extremely difficult for New York. We were supposed to be tested. We were supposed to be pushed. This game was supposed to bring out the true colors, the best out of the Knicks. And what did we get tonight? The best version of the Knicks that we've seen all season long. The offense you wanted, it was there. Three-pointers, we were dominating them at three-pointers. We were attacking inside, getting to the line. Can we talk about that? Free throws for this team have not come easy. Each and every game, throughout the games we even won, we were not getting to the line that often. This game, we got to the line, and we did so aggressively. We were attacking each and every time. It wasn't only Jalen. It wasn't only Karl-Anthony Towns. Go back to that third quarter. Who was attacking a lot? Deuce McBride, and oh yeah, the guy that got a triple-double tonight, Josh Hart. At one point in that game, it was Josh Hart versus the Orlando Magic, and they had no answer. Fast break, coast to coast, he was doing all of it. They could not stop him, and when they did, they would foul him and send him to the line. The best defense today got exposed by the best offense because even though defense wins you championships, you need to be able to shoot. You need to be able to have some type of offense. As good as Orlando is, and they're very good, they're young, but they're good. They're great on defense. They're bought in, and their coach has coached them to be a very good team. But even though they're good on defense, you need to do a little bit more. You need to be good on offense as well, too. And as good as they were playing defense, and in that first half, I felt like they were playing very good defense. They just could not make a bucket. As good as the Knicks were defending them inside the paint, making sure they were blocking shots, credit to Karl-Anthony Towns, credit to OG Anunoby, especially in that second quarter where the defense for the Knicks turned all the way up. Let me give you a quarter breakdown in terms of the points, guys. First quarter, 36 points scored. Second quarter, 35 points scored. Third quarter, 35 points scored. I'm not sure exactly what the point total was for the fourth quarter. We can kind of eliminate that because the Knicks were leading by so much that they took their foot off the gas just a little bit, and they made the Magic get into the game a little bit more, made it a closer game than it actually was. But we got to remember, the Knicks in the third quarter were up by as much as 37 points. On who? The best defensive team in the NBA? That was the best defensive team in the NBA? The Knicks dropped 121 points on them. 121 points we dropped on the best defensive team in the NBA. We continued to pour it on and had our biggest lead in the third quarter. And credit to who? To a lot of players, but one guy in particular, Karl Anthony Towns. So with Karl Anthony Towns tonight, as you can see here with this stat line, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks, 8 of 18 from the field, and he helped the Knicks advance in the NBA Cup. We are now headed to the quarterfinals. We will be taking on the Atlanta Hawks, and guess what? We'll be doing that at MSG. But as you just saw, Karl Anthony Towns was dominant. Faked the three, and then he drove. And by the way, that's his best move. If you want to know what Karl Anthony Towns' best move is, it's that exact move. Fake the three, and then drive. The main reason why is that first step. Towns is not the fastest player in the league, but when he fakes you out, he gets that first step above you. Once he does that, he is gone. You can try to get him, and they did, but guess what happens when you do that? You touch him up, you foul him, and he goes to the line. Exactly what he wanted to do. If he throws some more fakes into his game, he can easily average 30 points for this Knicks team because he would be open, he would get to the line, he would do whatever he wanted to do. We got a little bit of an example of that tonight as he was picking apart the Orlando Magic. Matter of fact, it wasn't only the Jalen, Brunson, or Josh Hart show, and these guys put in the work as well. Look at these guys. Look what they did. Jalen Brunson, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Now, before you kill him on the playmaking, he didn't have to do the playmaking tonight. You want to know why? His wingman, his partner, his podcast partner in Josh Hart, he gave you 10 assists. He gave you 14 rebounds. He gave you 11 points. And he was attacking the Orlando Magic like nobody's business in that third quarter. Nobody could stop him. Nobody they put on Josh Hart could do anything. And they tried to switch him up with size, with different switch-ups in terms of different players on him. They tried to throw double teams at him. It didn't matter. And every time they try to make it more difficult, what did he do? Find Mikal Bridges in the wing, find the cutting Jalen Brunson, a cutting OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns cutting to the rim or getting contact or open for a three. This team, the way we won tonight, was a complete team victory. That's how we won tonight. We don't beat the Magic if we play isolation basketball. If we're not moving the ball, moving ourselves, playing elite defense, especially in that second quarter. And I got to say it. I'm going to say it now because nobody's going to give him credit for it because I guarantee nobody was watching. Not closely enough to give him credit, but I was. Karl Anthony Towns, that second quarter. Matter of fact, I'll give him the first half. That first half, in terms of defense from Towns, the best defense I've seen him play all season long. He was attacking the defenders, making them very, very hesitant to shoot any shots, blocking their shots. You know what happens when you block somebody's shot? And this is going for anybody who plays basketball. When that happens to you multiple times, when you drive again, mentally, there's a problem. You can't drive the same way because now you're fearful that your shot's going to be blocked again. Towns put the fear in the Orlando Magic. There's a way to play in New York. Now, listen, if you're a New Yorker and you watch this team for years, you know what that attitude, that hustle, that grit means. I don't got to explain this next part to you. You know what I'm talking about when I'm going to say this next part. There's a way you play in New York. You got to have that little thug in you, you know, a little bit of gangster in you. You know what I'm talking about? When you're inside, you can't take any type of resistance like that, especially from a young team. A guy like Franz Wagner or Mo Wagner, whoever inside the paint, when they're young, they're not as strong as you. They're not as good as you. You need to not only let them know that, but you need to let them feel you as well too. Let them understand. You think you're going to dominate me? No, no, no. I'm going to dominate you. You're going to clap in my face? You're going to clap at me? I'm going to clap. I'm going to clap at you. I'm going to clap back at you. Don't clap at me. I love that attitude. That's the attitude that I want. That's New York attitude. That's saying I'm not taking it. You're not going to come in my house and make me look like a fool. This is my house. You're a visitor. Act like it. You don't clap in my house. You don't go in my refrigerator and take out a drink without asking. You ask permission first. Let's take a look at some other Knicks players and what they were doing on the court as well. As you can see here, Mikal Bridges, 36 minutes, 2 of 6 from 3, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 19 points. Mikal Bridges, even though he was not doing the same type of things he was doing last game against the Pelicans, he didn't have the same type of impact. I still thought he had the confidence. He was still playing very good defense, and he was shooting when he was open. You can't really ask for anything else. I don't want him forcing his offensive game. If he's going to force it, he's likely going to miss. When he was open in the mid-range tonight, almost automatic each and every time he caught it. If that's the Mikal Bridges I'm going to get, and he's going to give us that defense, I don't have a problem with Mikal. Mikal, keep on doing your thing. It works for us. It absolutely does. OG Anunoby tonight, 4 of 7 from 3. He played 32 minutes. 7 of 10 from the field. But I'm seeing 4 of 7 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 18 points. That right there is what you call contributions. He doesn't care how many points he scores. He just wants to have an impact. He's always active, always moving, always in the passing lane. OG Anunoby is one of the main reasons we win every game. Any game we win, he has a hand in that. He's a main reason for that. He gives us defense like nobody else on the team. Best two-way player on the roster, and it's not even close. Not even close by a mile. Let's keep it going. We went over Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen, Brunson, and Josh Hart. I want to go over to the bench a little bit here, specifically Miles McBride. Deuce was incredible, guys. 26 minutes, 5 of 11 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and he had 18 points. Deuce McBride, Deuce was loose every time he caught the ball. I don't know if you guys would agree with me. Did you guys not believe it was going in? Did you guys not think in your head, oh yeah, that ball is going in? Because of the way he practices, the way he shoots, every time he catches it, I think it's automatic. And 5 of 7 from 3? 5 of 7 from 3 against an Orlando Magic team that was playing him hard, aggressive, and they didn't really stop playing defense until the third quarter, until the Knicks were really dominating them. But for the most part, for that entire game, the Orlando Magic was playing good defense. You couldn't really see it because the Knicks knew the game plan going in. If they're going to play aggressive defense against us, then the only way we beat that is by moving ourselves and moving the ball. From the first quarter, that's all they did. Jalen to Mikal to OG, splash. Jalen to a pick and roll cutting Karl Anthony Towns. Boom, dunk, boom, contact to the line. That's what they were doing. If Orlando was allowing it, they took it. Did they force anything? Not really. Unless you're talking about when they were aggressive inside, but that's not forcing anything. That's recognizing a lane exists and attacking it. Jalen did it all night long. Third quarter, Jalen scored 10 points to start off the third quarter. He had 8 points in the first half. Going to the next part here, we got to go to the team stats. Now, the Magic lost this game for a lot of reasons, guys. Not going to lie to you. The reason that the Knicks dominated and destroyed the Magic, and the reason that why the Magic lost this game was because they could not shoot the three. 22% from 3. Can you pull that back up? Excuse me, 23. 23.1% from 3. Let's go through this again. 43.7% for Orlando from the field. So actually from the field, offensively, they didn't do that bad. It's not the Knicks. It's not 50%, but they're not us. So they can't hope for that. But then the three-point shot, 23.1% for them, 42.9% for New York. Anytime the Knicks are going to shoot like that, whenever we shoot like this, we're moving the ball like we are. We're rebounding the ball like we are. We can't lose. It's very, very difficult for us to lose. Because how do you expect to beat the Knicks when you, first of all, can't outshoot us? We're shooting more threes than you. We're defending. We're out rebounding you. We're getting second chance opportunities. There's really not much you can do. Now, I love breaking down the team stats even further because for me, we can't just look at 4 categories, right? There's just so many other categories that we have to look at, we have to talk about. And for me, the number one things that I look at is the way we move the ball, so team assists, and I look at the fast break points. I also look at the points in the paint. These are the metrics that help me understand how the Knicks defeated the other team. You also see the shot chart here, and in the shot chart, you can see the Orlando Magic in the baby blue and the Knicks in the navy blue here. And as you can see, we see where the Knicks did their damage, where the Magic tried to do their damage, and where it all fell apart. Now, with the team assists, because we're going to break down the team stats first. Team assists for Orlando, they had 20 team assists, and then the Knicks had 30. I mention this every post game. You guys can quote me on it. Longtime listeners, you guys know what I'm going to say already. The Knicks, to win games, they need to pass the ball at least 30 times as a team. That needs to be their average. If they average 30 plus more assists as a team, any given night, they're likely winning that game. And tonight, 30 assists again, the Orlando Magic 20. So Orlando's not making shots, not passing the ball, and they can't stop the Knicks. They cannot stop what the Knicks are doing from the three-point line. How do you win? How do you not get blown out? There's nothing you can do. There's nothing that they could have done. And they tried. Their points came inside the paint mostly. The Magic had 58 paint points to the Knicks 48 paint points. The New York Knicks usually dominate inside the paint. They usually do a lot of damage there. But this game, they did some damage there, but they were still outscored in the paint by the Orlando Magic. So even by that reference point, you could point to that and say Orlando really had a very fair game in terms of where they were against the Knicks. Comparing the team stats, you can see they were close to the Knicks in nearly every category. The only one they were far away in is the one that mattered the most, the three-point shot. Shout out to our team because more than anything else, the reason this game was won was because of team defense, team passing, team scoring, and team effort. We don't win without utilizing our team. Shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. And honestly, shout out to all of you guys for joining this stream, tuning in with me, and hearing all of my thoughts about the game, what I felt about it, and exactly how the Knicks dominated and destroyed the best defensive team in the NBA. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, let me know in the comments. What things did you like about tonight's game? What did you not like about tonight's game? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.